Congratulations, Chelsea Maresca, for finishing a game with zero shots on goal. Pathetic. All right, welcome back to American Blues Podcast. Let's talk about Brighton 3, Chelsea nil. Probably the worst game I've seen this season. And wholly predictable. That's the worst part, is that this teams are essentially following the exact same blueprint to beat us, and we're not showing any fight. Like, we have no plan, we have no fight, no confidence, nothing. And I have to say, this must be blamed on the manager. I think Maresca started off the season really well. He put Chelsea in a very, very good place, way better than anybody expected. But then this persistence on saying, number one, we weren't ready for title race. Fair enough. Fine. Looking at the team right now, sure, you could say that. But this game, so much of this game is built on confidence. And I feel like when our manager, every single time he's asked about if this team was ready, he would say, no, we're not ready. We're not even close to ready. That saps so much confidence from the players. And then to go out on the FA Cup the way we did, no fight against the same team, Brighton. And then for the manager to not even care. Be like, whatever. Don't care. Don't care about the competition. Not a big deal. Except it is a big deal. It is a big deal because you're at a club that has a tremendous history of winning. And you're at a club where I've spent the majority of my life watching them win titles. And I'm sorry, it's just not good enough for a manager to be this okay with failure. Like, as much as I like Maresca, as much as I was singing his praises early this season, I think he deserves a lot of credit for that, but I also think he deserves a lot of the blame for where we are currently. Number one, going into the transfer window saying we didn't need anybody, that he was happy with the team, letting players like João Felix go when we could easily use another goal threat right now. Right now, we need another goal threat, and then still persisting with, nah, we don't need him. Which, fair enough. Maybe he's just not good enough in your eyes. That's okay, fine. But then no reinforcements. And I understand that's not really his job to work on recruitment, but it is his job to pressure our sporting directors to provide the team what it needs. And clearly, either he's not doing that or he's not allowing himself to publicly say that. And I think either one shows a lot of the issues at the club right now. But this game, God, what a pathetic performance. First goal, we are giving up the exact same play again and again and again. Man City, long ball. Haaland got the ball, scored a goal. Last game, Matoma, nearly the same run as today. Ran into space, straight from a goalie, over the top, one touch, easy goal. I mean, just the way we play. Like, we play this high line, possession-based game, but we are starting to go back to where we were under Tuchel at the end, which was just horseshoe football, where we don't move the ball, barely any. We keep it in defense, we pass it back, we move up the wing a little bit, turn around, pass it back around, and just nothing. No penetration, no one making runs. And then when we do get the ball out to the wing and we finally make a move on the box, I do not know if we are just not working on crosses in training or what's happening. But I don't think there was a single cross that made it to a Chelsea player, not even within the vicinity of a Chelsea player today. Right? Number one, crosses over top, not going to work. And Cuckoo, not a target man. We don't really have any tall players in attack to even get on the end of balls, except for Palmer, except he's the one usually putting in crosses. So easy for the defense to just pick their head up, head it out. And it happened time and time and time again, not just this game, last game, the previous game, every single game. When we put balls over the top, there's nobody there. But then what happens when we actually run with the ball and cross it low on the ground? Crosses go to nobody. It goes to nobody. I don't understand. It's like we've reverted back to absolutely no patterns of play, and nobody can make crosses anymore, which is insane because we have some of the best crossers on the team in Neto in Madueke. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. So it must be that we are just not working on crosses during training. We're just not. We're just not. It's either that or our defenders in training are so bad at marking that it's teaching our attackers to make shit runs and to make shit crosses. It's unbelievable. I have literally no positives from this game. No positives. I can't think of a single one. I think we were a complete failure of a team today. We failed at defending. We failed at progressing the ball. We failed at making any plays happen in the final third, and we failed at putting a single shot on target, a single shot. And then we failed to show any type of energy or passion to win this game. And that's just unacceptable. I don't care how badly we're losing. I don't care how down the team is. I still want to see everybody sprinting. I still want to see the team try. And I'm sorry, I don't see barely any effort from any player. And yeah, and it's beyond the point now where we can just rely on Palmer, because I think teams have really started to figure out Palmer's patterns of play and his touches. He had several good opportunities today, but again, even he hit it wide. Even he didn't take his chances. But again, like we can't just be a one player team, right? And we can't just say, okay, we've had injuries, so now we can't put any shots on target. That's unacceptable. Like, I don't care how many injuries we have. This is still a professional football team with lots of highly paid professional players. You should be able to put the ball on target at least once in a 90-minute match. Like, I don't care. Even Southampton can do that, and they are one of the worst teams to ever grace the Premier League. So, yeah, this is just an abject failure from top to bottom. And I think it has to start at the top. This is negative attitude that just constantly being spread by Maresca. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of listening to press conferences where we have to sit there and listen to how good Sanchez is, and it took almost entire season, for him to see what we've seen over the past 2 years. I feel like we're just living in the same pattern. Like, a season finishes, we realize Sanchez is horrible. We start the new season, say he's number one, and then we wait 8 months till he makes enough mistakes to put us in trouble, and then we say, oh, he shouldn't be number one. How many times do we have to go through this? How many times? How many times? And then to go into another season where we really just have one starting striker in Nicholas Jackson, and then now we see that in Nkuku, who wanted to leave, who was never a striker to begin with. And now look at him. Like, he's just a shell of his former self. He doesn't make any runs. He makes absolutely no attempt at pressing. He's not involved. I think he had one touch today during the game where it actually meant something, where he ran all the way back to defense again, into like our own 25-yard line to get the ball. And that's the only time that he can make something happen. I'm sorry. That's just not good enough. That's just nowhere near good enough. This system that we're playing does not work. It does not work if we're not pressing hard. And without someone like Jackson or Q to initiate that press, it does not work. And now we are just having possession for the sake of having possession. And it's my least favorite kind of football to watch. I fucking hate watching this kind of football. It is boring. It's slow. It's just, oh my God, it just makes me want to tear my eyes out or fall asleep. So something needs to change, and it should have changed weeks ago. So Maresca spent a lot of the press conference talking about, how we need to make changes. We need to adapt. We didn't show any of that today. We did not adapt, and we didn't make any changes. So now with Madueke out, with looks like a hamstring injury. So what? That's minimum 6 to 8 weeks for him too. We're running real low on options here. And our play better be more than just give our ball to the wing and hopefully they can do something one-on-one, because that's just not going to work. And it'd be better more than let's just put as many crosses into the box as possible. There's got to be something different. Either we start playing some real defense, sit back, hit people on counter, try to win games that way. I think that's not a bad idea, especially when we're dealing with this many injuries and we just need points. That's never a bad idea to fall back onto. Or we start playing with someone different as a false nine, just a completely different system, give the players something different to do. Yeah, because this is not working. This is nowhere near working. Brighton are a mediocre team this season, a mediocre team, and we are making them look incredible 2 games in a row. That's just unacceptable. So, yeah, what an awful game. Worst game of the season. Horrendous decisions by Maresca. His whole attitude is wrong. Uh, our sporting directors have clearly made a humongous mistake this season. So the only positive that I can see is like we are so bad. We are so bad currently that it has to wake people up. It has to wake people up for this summer. I think this summer is honestly like our final chance to build a good team. And we just need a few more pieces, just a few more pieces to be a functional, good team that can actually press on to challenge for titles. But we are just teetering on that edge right now, man. Like, if we do not make those changes where we get a world class goalie, a world class defender, and a world class striker, 3 things. I think those 3 things is truly all we need. If we don't get those, we are done. And if you think putting our hopes on Esteval to suddenly take us to the league championship, that's never going to happen. He's still a teenager, and you don't want to put that much pressure on a teenager anyways. You want him to come to a team that's already semi-successful or successful, so he is allowed to space to improve, and so he is pushed by better teammates around him, not to have a teenager show up and instantly become the superstar on the team. That's not going to be a good situation. We do not want to be in that. Wait, so yeah, what an awful game, awful watch. I suppose only way is up. When you're that bad, only way is up. So, man, see you guys after the next game because that was, oh my God, that was awful. Peace.